Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Good morning to you. I'm almost finished channeling Louise Jefferson with that hoarseness I've been dealing with. So, how you doing? Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Lauren Michael Sayers. If you notice some empty spots on the wall behind me, that's because we have started moving things to the new studios, also known as the Man Cave. And I'm so excited. So I've been taking little things down. I won't take too much off the wall. I'll go into shock until I can move everything. But so excited. Got some new things for you guys coming up in the next few weeks. So make sure you're here every morning, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. It is an overcast, cloudy, looks like something evil comes this way here in Chicagoland today. Because, you know, when the wind blows here, it ain't no joke. That's why they call it the Windy City. I literally was downtown in the Loop shopping around Christmas time. Had a brand new flannel coat on, went to Burlington Coat Factory. Back then, I thought that was really something, going to Burlington, right? At least it wasn't from, what's that one place we used to go to? What was that for? Big Lot. Remember when we used to get our clothes at Big Lot? Quit playing. You did. Just right? And you've been to Payless Shoe Store too, right? You can only wear Payless shoes like once. Well, girl, right? So listen, anyway, I walked around the corner. No kidding. The wind literally blew 5 of the 6 buttons off the coat. Just like that. I was done shopping. Let's just put it that way. Welcome, welcome. I am so excited. Today's the 5th day of October for you. Did I say that right? October. There. October. And we are here. People have their Halloween stuff up everywhere. I don't know if I'm doing the candy thing this year or not. I'm serious. I don't know. Because the years you buy a bunch of crap, they don't come. And then when you don't buy anything, they come like 4 hours early. I just can't get it right. That's the bell of purpose. What's it mean? It means that it is not a prop. No, it is not. The bell of purpose is here on purpose. And we use it every day on Bathrobe Moments with purpose. The bell has a ring to it because so does the truth. And when I ring that bell, whatever you're doing, because you know we are multitaskers by nature, stop what you're doing, lean in, tune in, and listen up because there is some truth in the air. And that's where we find the promise of showing our souls to each other fulfilled. And also, that's how we become involved in illuminated conversation. Can I get an amen? Okay, well then. Everybody's slow today. Everybody's late. What's going on? It's that weather, y'all. But while we're waiting, and we're going to get our guests in here in just a moment. But first, listen, you guys, I've got a gift for you. Head over to LaurenMichaelsHarris.com and book your seat. Book your seat for my new offering, my new gift to you. I want you guys to come in and be like a focus group, if you will, coming up a week from this Saturday. You'll see all the information over on my site to come and be a focus group, and let's be a part of the conversation for a free 90-minute preview of my new program, P3. I have what, the Facebook ads people had me cut something just yesterday. So I'm going to show it to you guys here to maybe entice you to get over there and reserve your seat. Here we go. Stand by. Well, hello. I am here because I need to have a little talk with you. My name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm here to personally invite you to come in and experience a 90-minute free preview of my latest work. I don't want to just say it's a program but it's the culmination of my latest work. And I call it P3, Purpose, Patience, and Passion. Have you ever been in the position where you know something through and through 1,000% with no proof? What about this one? When you found yourself at that fork in the road of your journey, and to the left and to the right are two different opportunities, but you can feel some of everything, good, bad, and everything in between. But you stayed stuck. It didn't take either. It belongs to all of us simply because we are. So join me, won't you, for this 90-minute free preview of P3, the Journey series. Just come in and check it out. Come in and be a part of the conversation. Let's heal. Let's learn. Let's go. See you inside. Click the button. Thank you, P3. So excited. Thank you for my wonderful team. And you know who you are, spread out over 2 continents and 6 states. I love every single one of you. Couldn't do it without you. And also a shout out this morning to our partners and our great friends over at Heart of Hollywood magazine. Bathrobe Moments is on the back cover of this magazine for the next 2 years. So excited. Go over and pick up a copy. Subscribe today. We're excited. I can't even pull up Shift Magazine anymore because I'm not on the cover anymore. Somebody else is, but that's okay. That's okay. We had a good ride, didn't we? So you guys get over to Heart of Hollywood. And what about Facebook yesterday? Had me freaking out, thinking out, because I'm putting together a 90-minute television special with some people that are, the whole thing about the conversation of vaccine, no vaccine, right? So I started talking. I was like, y'all don't say anything that are trigger words because Facebook, no sooner than I said that, everything went blank. I was like, they don't put me in Facebook jail, y'all. I ain't got no bail money. Lord knows I don't. And so, but then I found out the whole world didn't have Facebook. Did you panic? What'd you do? Put it in the comments. Should we really be that attached? Because I panicked. I'm just keeping it real. I thought, oh, Lord Jesus, So anyway, something to think about there, right? Remember, did you see the documentary a couple years ago? I think it was called Social or something like that. Remember? And they showed how they control us through social media. If you haven't seen that, Google that. Sherry McQueen, if you're here, that's our statistician, our little Carmen San Diego. She finds everything we don't have the answer to and puts it in the comments. So Sherry McQueen, if you find anything about that documentary, would you drop that into the chat? So today I have a first timer. You guys, you know what that means. We got to be extra extra involved and engaged today. Shana's here, and she's from a small town of Minden. I hope I'm saying that right. Minden, Nebraska. And she's got a bachelor's degree, communications. And there's so much to talk about. I'm just going to get her in here. She has a book, and you know how we love some ooh stuff. Survived a near-death experience. And I remember a couple of weeks ago, we had the world's first aquanaut here on the show. Alan Allen, AAA is what I call him now. And he had around 14 near-death experiences, if you remember. And they're all in his wonderful book, which if you need that, Sharon McQueen will drop that in the links for you too. Now, you guys also want to let you know they postponed the premiere of Cosmo Sapiens, our new show on iHeartRadio, iRock Space Radio on iHeartRadio. Was supposed to be this past Sunday. You know how it is. That first time you got to iron out all those wrinkles. So anyway, get ready next Sunday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and again at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can catch the premiere episode featuring Alan A. Allen, the world's first aquanaut. And we also recorded our second episode yesterday with Tim Chrisman, the founder of Foundation for the Future. I'm a very lucky boy. He didn't put a spell on me, even though he did used to work for the CIA. Let me just tell you, that was one quiet interview because I wasn't saying, right. You won't be sitting in a black van down this street. So anyway, let's get our guest in here. Shana, and I don't want to say her name. I had it. I was listening to something. Shana Schoone Speaks. I said it wrong, but she'll say it right because she's been saying that name all her life. Here she comes, you guys. Put your hands together. Put your hearts into it as we welcome to the stage. Here she comes. Shana. Hi, Shona.
Okay, so Lauren, I had to correct you. It's Shana. And
Sheena, like Sheena Easton. I'm kidding. Say it again. Shana. And then you got to have another SCH thing in the back. Say that one.
Shown.
Now that looks like those O's should have those dots or something over it.
I know, yeah.
Should it?
It doesn't look anything like it sounds.
Oh, okay. So first of all, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Are you ready to have some fun?
Yes.
Okay, because the first thing is, oh, girl, I'm so glad too, because I was watching you in the green room. You didn't know it. We have a secret camera back there. We saw you. We saw. I said, she loved that hair, right? And it is gorgeous. So anyway, when the team was doing some research about you coming on the show, we noticed that let me see, I gotta find the right one. Okay. What? Is this it? That's not it. Stop sharing. We don't want to see that. That's not it. Y'all wait. It's worth it. Trust me. Wait on it. Where are you? Okay. All right. I'm gonna find. I had it. I have so many things open because you have so many things. Girl, I'm not kidding. You are one busy. You're in grad school, right?
Yep.
And at San Diego, where are you at?
San Diego State.
San Diego State.
Yes.
And you're teaching?
Yes.
Okay, y'all, take a look. Now we know. Watch this. Pay attention to the right. Watch this. Okay. Now watch what you see. Look at that hair.
And I have the fan going on over here too because
I already know. And we know why. We're going to show you why. That is so funny because I just want you to know.
Do I look like a movie star, Lauren?
No, you do. You look, well, you took a playbook. You took it out of the playbook at Diane Ross. She started that years ago. She did. Weave and hair blowing in the fan. But you're not the only one because I have a guest coming on who is known for the same thing. And it's a guy. Seriously. And I don't know. You might want to up your game, girl. Get a stronger fan because look at this.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Work it. Yes. Now, wait a minute. Get ready.
Okay.
I want you to practice this for when you come next time. Look at that. Okay. Now, pull that off. Yes. Yes. And okay. Just in case anybody out there wants to learn how to do that, I'm sure if you go to Shana's website later today. She'll be offering tips on how to make your hair flow on live stream / Facebook and all that. Shana, I'm kidding. I just wanted to play with you a little bit to lighten things up. You're tell everybody where you're at in the world and what you're doing to impact the world.
Okay, so I am currently sitting in San Diego right now. I go to SDSU, San Diego State University. It is currently, I believe, 6:15 over here.
Yes, it is.
Fresh in the morning. And I just wrote this book, Mona Listen. It was published back in April, and it's written off of my near-death experience. And can I tell you like a little bit about that?
About what?
About my near-death experience?
Oh, we're getting there.
We're going to get there? Okay.
Yeah, we're going to get there. Look, girl, I watched that other one. I already knew. I was like, she's going to be saying, can I say this? Can I talk about? Yes, I got all my little show notes.
So much to say. I just, whenever you want to hear it, Lauren.
Oh, we're getting to it. We can't tell them that too early because then they'll think they heard all the good stuff and try to go off and watch somebody else's show. No. Trick no good. They're going to hang around. You guys are going to hang around, right? Love you. So, okay, here's what we want to talk about first. Let's talk about you're in grad school for what program? Communications. So if you get, what are you trying to do? Get on the news or something? What you want to do?
The goal right now is to be a professor or a lecturer.
A lecturer. So you can still use your even as a professor, you could be doing lectures with your fan going, all up in front. But then you're probably going to get sued because those young boys and stuff. I'm just saying, girl, you might want to rethink that. So you want to teach?
Yes.
And what would you be teaching,
Shana? So as a lecturer, I would be teaching public speaking, and right now I am an instructor too. Like as I'm going to grad school, so I have students already, and I'm teaching public speaking actually right now as we speak. But after I get my master's in communication, I can teach public speaking. And then it's just a matter of like, do I want to go on to be a full-on professor? Do I want to get my PhD? Then if I did that, I would be teaching most likely interpersonal communication.
Okay. So down there in San Diego, where'd you come from when you went to San Diego? Where were you prior?
I am originally from here. I'm going to say the town because you did say it wrong. Minden, Nebraska.
Minden. I think I said that first, and then then broke it down into syllables and said mind. But it's Minden.
Siri on Google Maps or whatever it is, she actually pronounces it Minden. And I think that's how you pronounced it or whatever. But it's a really small town. It has 2,900 people. And it's just like this little small town in Nebraska.
I'm out here. Nebraska. And you guys, Facebook just sent me a little thing that said that they're having some issues. So I'm sorry for those that are watching on some of the broader platforms if you're having issues today, but everything is archived on YouTube and also on the E360 network, where if you download the app, you can binge watch and catch anything you may have missed. So just FYI on that. So tell us, so you come from a big family, small family. We know it's a small town, but what drew you out to the big city of San Diego?
1 sec, my light just went off. Here we go. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so what drove me out there? First of all, my family. So I have mom, dad.
Your family drove you to California? Like, get out of here.
Well, actually, I will get to that, Lauren. But so I have 2 little sisters who aren't so little anymore. They're 18 and 14, Peyton and Hallie. And they actually did help me move out here to San Diego. And the main reason I came was for grad school, which is a whole nother story within of itself. I was basically manifesting to get here for the past year, right? And I really was going to come to San Diego regardless if I got into grad school or not here.
Because I just you weren't going to miss the beach.
Have those feelings like in your being, just saying like something is going to happen and you just like want it so bad, and then you make that decision where like this is definitely what I want, and then it just like aligns.
How old are you?
How old am I? 22, and I'll be 23 in November.
Girl, so you're 22 and 3/4. Do you still say 22 and a half? Right. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Are you gonna say like I'm very like wise for my age or something? Like you're very mature for your age, because I get that.
Why would you think I was gonna say that?
I don't know, just the way you reacted.
Girl, quit fishing. Ain't no ponds here. I'm just playing. No, well, you are always when you look at all the things on your short but impressive resume, because you're like you just said, you're just getting started, but you're starting in a big way. Let's talk about. Let's go ahead and go into the book. You wrote the book how long ago?
That is actually a very interesting story. So Mona Listen was, so first of all, it's poems and essays in here, right? And I wrote those poems and essays starting in March of 2019. And I had them all saved in my Word doc on my laptop. And I started writing this book, and I originally named it Mona Listen too, and I just couldn't shake that name, and I'll get to that too of why it's called that. Um, but yeah, and then so like I had all of these poems and essays written for 2 years, and then back in October I had like another one of those moments where I don't know if you're like a spiritual person, but
Girl, you
I
didn't
do.
do your research.
What?
You didn't do your research on me, clearly, or you would have known the answer to that one.
Okay, so I'm guessing you are.
Did you hear the theme song, Show Me Your Soul?
Yeah, and I
Okay, well
figured that.
that wasn't from a cult or the devil. I'll just put that out there.
Okay, so yes, so I had one of those moments where I felt like so connected to God or the higher power, if you will, and it was just like in my being, I was being told to write this book, and it was going to be about gratitude. And so, like, for the longest time, I had all of these poems and essays saved in my laptop, and I didn't really have like a general direction that I wanted to go with them until after like just this one night, I was sitting down in my bed, and I was just like, it was like a very emotional thing. I was crying and stuff because I had just like had a very hard transition. It was in October, and I was just starting out in my last year of my undergrad. And I had all of these classes that I was doing, and I had gotten away from God. And I was actually on the phone earlier that day with my friend, and we were talking about astrology. It's such a weird story. We were talking about astrology, and how that was like connected to God and stuff. And like he just started talking about God with me, and that like reconnected me with God, because for like a couple months I was kind of straying away from God just because of like the stress and stuff of life and all of the hardships or whatever, which should bring you closer to God, but you know how you kind of stray away from time to time.
Yeah,
So
we've all done it.
with him, this conversation with my friend just like brought me closer to God. And then that night I started praying, and as I was praying, I just started like, I had an emotional release, right? And I was just crying because like I felt like just this deep thing like inside me saying, Shana, you're gonna write a book, and it's gonna be about gratitude. And like literally in that moment, I got out my laptop and I just started like writing down the outline of this book, basically.
So who's the book for, Shana?
Who is the book for? So honestly, anyone, but specifically people who like to read poetry, like poetry, and honestly are spiritual, because there's a lot of spirituality in this, because that's just who I am as a person. And then anyone who's gone through something rough lately, because a lot of what this book is of course gratitude, but it's talking about how I'm going to go into my near-death experience, okay? So you can get the whole picture.
Well, you're going to go into that in a minute.
Okay.
You forgot, this is, when I come on your show, you can do that.
Okay.
Okay, because I got a plan. I would like you to read a poem. We're going to go to commercial in about 3 minutes. So find something in there, just, that you feel led to read and share. Because I believe, you have the book, it's here, we're here, and they're out there. And on this show, we believe in the promise that where two or more of us with a like-minded attitude or spirit comes together, something wonderful is going to happen. So we're seeking it, and we're hoping you'll help us find it. So what do you got in there that you want to share and pour into someone today from the book Mona Listen?
Okay, so I just...
Not to be confused with the book Linda. Listen, Linda, listen. Oh, wait, that wasn't a book. That was a Facebook post that went viral. Okay, my bad. Go ahead, Mona Listen. What you got for us?
Okay, so the poem I chose is on page 16. It's in my Close to Death chapter, where I
can't wait to get to that story.
where I specifically just talk about my near-death experience and all the thoughts that came specifically in that moment. But this is called Questions to Live By.
Okay,
And it says,
I'm gonna duck out and let you have the screen. Go for it, girl.
okay, I get the spotlight. Okay. So again, questions to live by. And it says, if the world ended tomorrow, who would you be with today? Where would you be? What would you say? And what would you do? Someone's world ended today, and someone's will end tomorrow. What if it was yours? That's it. Oh.
One more. It was just getting good. Come on, give us something with some meat in it. I love that, but I want to hear a little more.
Okay, this is a deep one. It's called The Visitation. It's in the same one, same chapter, Close to Death. I saw death, and I touched her hand. The years I spent thinking she stayed far away died when I saw death and I touched her hand. She lingers in the night and day, ready to meet the lives with expired expiration dates. I saw death and I touched her hand. She spoke softly and did not scare me. My eyes closed, my mind awake. I saw death and I touched her hand. She wanted only to visit with me and not to keep me. I saw death and I touched her hand. We traveled back in time through stories of my life to every moment of dissonance, where I realized that even then I was still alive. I saw death and I touched her hand.
Wow. Impressive. Put your hearts on the screen, everybody. Listen, we're going to get even further into the story of Shana here in a moment and what happened in this near-death experience. But I bet you guys didn't even know that it happened, right? Oh, wait, that's right. She's been trying to get to that since the very beginning. So that tells you how good it's going to be. And Robert Brooker, you're so funny. You were 22 for 30 years, Robert. You're so crazy. Good morning to all of you out there. Thank you so much for coming in. All my favorites, every single one of you. And I tell you every day, I wouldn't rather be anywhere in the world, except maybe Fiji, than here with you right now. When we return, we're going to get into more about this young lady and what she's doing since this near-death experience, and let her tell you all about it. Now, remember, before we go to commercial, I want you to remember that, hey, this is the date, Chicago, April 28th. The Power of We Symposium is back. Tickets are on sale as of October 15th. So head over to powerofwesymposium.com and pick up your information so that you're ready and informed to grab your seat. Join us as we empower hundreds of youth here in Chicago come April 28th. We'll be back in just a moment. Get your questions and your comments ready. This is an interactive experience, and it wouldn't be the same without you. Don't go away.
I received this insight about a title called Prisoner of War. The book
Welcome back to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Lauren Michaels Harris. You know, you always hear me tell you that what we want to do is get up every day, every single day, and find one E and one R. We already wake up great, we wake up bright, we wake up strong, we wake up kind. But when we find that E and that R, we make small changes, we create big shifts. Bold goes to bolder, bright goes to brighter, strong goes to stronger, and nice goes to nicer. One of the things I'm glad I've done to find an ENR is to ditch the Diet Coke. That was what it was. Somebody in this house who just left and went to work still drinks it. Oh well, in time. But for me, now I choose this. V8. Why? 60 calories in every can, 2 full servings, count them, 1, 2, of vegetables, and from 100% pure vegetable juice. Easy to find. Head down the juice aisle in your local grocery store, and you'll find it. In my store, it's right next to the Kool-Aid boxes. I wonder why that's like that. Here we go. She's back. Hello, Shana.
Hey.
Okay. So I thought too, I'll be honest, when we were in the research, I said, ooh, near-death experience. What happened? Did an alligator almost get her? What happened? Did her chute not open when she jumped out of a plane? But yours was a little different. Tell us about it.
So it happened 3 years ago.
If you're ready to tell us about it.
Oh, yes. I am ready.
It's hard. It's like pulling teeth trying to get you to talk about it.
Well,
okay, I'm done. Go ahead. All you.
Decided I would share it with you. Okay, so 3 years ago, I had to have this double jaw surgery. And the reason I had to have that was because at only the age of 3 years old, my parents were told I would have to have it because my jaw was mouth shaped. So I had an underbite like this. And then my lower jaw was more towards my left and my upper jaw was more towards my right. And so when my mouth was fully developed, ready to go, I had that surgery at 19 years old, which was 3 years ago.
So wait a minute.
Yes.
So you are telling us that, help me understand. Are you saying that up until a few years ago, what you described with the jaws going in different directions, that's how you were?
Yeah.
Up until 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So you're living in a whole new face right now.
It kind of, yeah.
How different was your appearance?
I wish I could like pull up a picture for you to see, but I mean, you could kind of tell. And like,
was it painful? Or you were used to it?
Being like that, it wasn't painful. It just was like, I don't know, like not very many people could tell from the appearance wise, but I could. So it was like an insecurity of mine. But wise, it wasn't painful up until literally a month before the surgery. I started getting really, really bad headaches. And that's why I had to have it, because if I didn't have it, I would have those constant headaches and then like some other stuff was going to happen. But it was.
You knew this surgery was coming from what age?
So I knew for a fact that it was coming probably, let me see here, 3 years before it happened, or no, 2 years before it happened.
But your parents have been told that one day you were going to, but they didn't tell you.
I don't think I ever knew that it was going to happen, even after. So I had braces and like the headgear and like the turnkey in your mouth and retainer.
Oh, Lord.
So I had the whole works starting from age 8. And like all of those years, I really don't think I was ever told. And I could be wrong. So it's no like hate on my parents.
Well, if you were, you blocked it out clearly. But let me ask you, because you're all smiles and wind-blown hair and all that today. But I have to believe, because I know how difficult it can be when you're a kid with something that doesn't match what everyone else seems to be. So for a second, talk about, was there ever any bullying? You mentioned about, the self-esteem thing. Talk about that, because a lot of us carry things like that are just not even, they're not serving us. They're not necessary. So what was it like for you? Were you bullied?
I honestly wasn't bullied. And I think the majority of people, they couldn't tell. And I don't know. I think it was more of like an inner thing. Because
why do you think that was if nobody could see it?
I don't know. I think I just like, I remember looking at all of my school pictures, so in like our family hallway, we have all of these pictures of like my sisters and I, and we have like the whole like first grade, second grade type of thing. And then in the middle, it's the senior picture. And I remember just like looking at those pictures and I was so upset with my smile. And it's crazy though, because like right now after my jaw surgery, I feel like I have like this contagious smile and it makes everyone like laugh and it like lightens the room and stuff. So it was definitely.
Your smile was being restrained, held back. So you would want to do something your body wouldn't cooperate with.
Yeah, literally. And I feel like like I myself was held back because of that in a way.
Yes.
And it's really just like a mindset kind of shift. But yeah.
Right. It's just like a kid who goes home to poverty and doesn't want anyone to see where they live. No one knows what the reality is, but they do.
And you
And
know
I
what,
get it.
Lauren, that's shame right there.
That's it.
Do you read Brene Brown books?
I'm gonna have to ask you to stop with the shameless plugs for your inner circle of friends. You think I don't know what you're doing? I'm kidding. Yes, I do. but she's not here, and her book isn't. But you are, and you have a book. So la 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 la. Nothing off Brene. But right now, if you're gonna go get a book today, it should be Shana.
Yes.
So we're gonna talk about how to get that in just a second. So now let's get to the big number. I'm gonna give you a hint. I graduated high school in 19. Oh God, why did I set myself up for this? 80. Why did I say that number? Hello, Earth to Shana. What is the importance of 80?
Lauren. 1980.
80. Why is that number significant in your life? In 3, 2.
I wasn't born yet. Is that
no? But what the number 80 is important to your story? How so?
Oh, 80 blood clots.
There's the bell. We have a winner. Only 80 blood clots. Oh, that little thing. Girl, turn the fan up. 80 blood clots. Are you kidding me? I had a blood clot in my knee after coming back from a long flight. And I thought I was scared to move, thinking it was going to go to my lungs and then kill me. And one of my dearest friends, a couple weeks later, went to the islands, the Caribbean, got off the plane, got to the hotel. The wife went upstairs. He said, I'm going to just sit down for a second. Blood clot, boom, gone. Just like that. So, yeah, 80. 80 blood clots. Tell us how that happened and what you thought was happening.
So the reason I said the whole jaw surgery was because 10 days after the jaw surgery, I had a pulmonary embolism, which is when you have blood clots in your lungs, right? So I had 50 in one lung and then 30 in the other, so 80 total. And the stats out there are crazy. It says that 1 in 4 people who has a blood clot, their first sign is death. And then 1 in 3 people who is hospitalized will die. And I did not just have 1, I had 80. And so I remember this distinct moment of being in the hospital bed after they did all of these tests the previous day that I was there, to finally find out that I had blood clots because it was just so hard to find them. I don't know why. Just was.
Wasn't
and
enough?
So
we really only see them when they hit 100.
I don't know.
What hospital were you at? Were you in California? No, you were back home.
No, I was
in that little town.
Small town, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so how did you get rid of, what did they do? Did they make you lay flat? What did they put some blood thinners in you? What is it?
Yeah, so I had blood thinners, but the second night that I had them, my pain got worse than even the first night where I was in like this extreme pain and I was just crying and crying.
In the lung area.
Keep in mind, this is 10 days after I had my jaw surgery where my mouth was bandaged shut and I just had gotten my bands off the day that I had the pulmonary embolism and went to the ER because like after I went to Omaha, Nebraska, which is a 3-hour drive, on the way back, I was in this severe pain and my family and I, we had no idea what was going on. So we rushed to the ER as soon as we got home and then they diagnosed me with blood clots. But the second day was worse. And I remember laying in bed that second night and just excruciating pain. I had just received the max dose of morphine and it did absolutely nothing. So I had to be ambulanced over to another hospital. But while I was waiting for that ambulance, I was just in this excruciating pain, right? And my family was in the room and they were all crying. And it was just one of those things that we didn't say, but it's everyone thought I was going to die.
What did you think?
I thought I was going to die. And I just remember thinking I had all of these memories play back, as everyone says, those memories come back to you, and the good ones and the bad ones. And I just felt this overwhelming feeling of gratitude for every experience that I had ever lived.
Just the good, bad, and the ugly?
Yeah, and because in all of those moments I was alive, and it's just part of the human experience, and I felt
Mm.
that.
Hold on. Hold
Yeah.
on. Slowly roll. That's a good one. That's a good one. Let's stop there for a second. That's important. You just said, I asked you, you said all my memories. So
Mhm.
I said, well, let's push the envelope. Good, bad, the ugly. And you said, yes, because I was alive in all of those moments. That's powerful.
Thank you,
That's
Lauren.
powerful. Why, Shana? How, say I fixed it. How, tell me right now, and then we'll keep going with the story. Now you saw that, and that is a part of near death. We hear about the white lights and all these different things. Alan Allen, I was speaking about earlier, his father died for 8 minutes. And what he came back and told his son, and when his son told me and telling the world through his new book, changed my life. So let me ask you, everybody, did you see anything? Was there white light? But I want you to concentrate on what you were just getting at about that gratitude feeling. And how does it play out now when you wake up and you're not the Shana that we see right now on the screen? When you're having a rough day, a downtime, they just don't end because we, make it through one thing. It's a big continuum. So talk about how you utilize that knowledge that you have from this experience today.
Yeah. So I'm not a perfect person, Lauren. I don't think anyone is, and I think
Nope.
that anyone who has had this kind of experience, I remember in Grey's Anatomy where Meredith had a near-death experience or whatever, and then she was talking to this patient of hers who just had a near-death experience, and he was so overwhelmed. He's like, I'm going to change my life and all this stuff, and Meredith was telling him, like, that will go away. And so, like, it's very easy to have those feelings go away of like, oh, I'm going to change my life or whatever. But this one has just stuck with me. And I have talked to multiple people who have had a near-death experience and haven't gotten like this new perspective, right? And so it's like one of those things that I believe it will fade just like anything else unless you think about it every single day. And it's one of those things that I do think about every single day. And
Why
that's
do
not,
you think it happened?
why do I think it happened?
Why everything happens on
I,
purpose with purpose. So what was the purpose of you experiencing that? Was
so
it
I
to
could
get you
share
to
this story,
spiritualism? What was it?
so I could share this story with other people and help them just realize how lucky they are, how blessed they are to be alive, and
Which
how
one is it? Lucky or blessed? Two
blessed.
different things.
Blessed.
I was gonna say, because if you say you're blessed, you can say by whom or what. If you say I'm lucky, lucky by whom or what? There's no lucky has no symbol. You know what I'm saying? It has no. How can you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's deeper than lucky, Lauren.
And lucky makes it seem arbitrary.
Yeah.
By chance. Happens that blessed is purposeful.
Yeah.
So you were blessed, absolutely. And you're blessing us. We're not lucky right now because you're telling the story. We're being poured into. We are blessed. Don't ever forget that. Okay? So listen, tell people what went through your mind laying there. You had that pain, you're flat. Everywhere you can hear and feel what's going on. You're feeding off of their panic. They're trying. What did you speak to something? Did you cry out to something? Did you plead with something to give me another chance? Don't take me. What happened?
So in those moments where I had all those memories come back, I felt that overwhelming sense of gratitude that I was telling you about. And I remember thinking like, I want more moments, and I literally, it's like as simple as that, but it's just like, how we live our everyday lives and we just take everything for granted. And I really think that once we slow down and just like live in the moment and stuff, it's really those tiny moments that mean the most to us, where
Yes.
we're simply present. And that's what I've gotten from this, because all I wanted was those simple little moments in that moment where I thought I was going to die.
Did you think that maybe before this happened, you didn't fully appreciate those individual dots of moments, but then all of a sudden,
I didn't.
they all came together like a big tapestry, didn't they?
Yeah.
How do you think this is going to affect how you live your life, raise your family? If you should have children one day and you're a storyteller, clearly you have the book Mona Lisa in there. how will you explain this to your own child or children?
Man, that's a good question, because I don't know like at what age I would tell them the specific story, but I'll definitely raise them in order to like live with more purpose than I ever lived with, like at a young age, and just live in the moment and teach them how to slow down and be present, um, and just raise them with the value of gratitude and appreciation for others too. And I'll tell you what, like, one thing that I do around Valentine's Day is I write the people I love, I write them appreciation letters. And I'm a writer. Like, those things are like, my letters are very long. They're like 2 pages long, and I just like pour
You
my
actually
heart out.
write them?
Yeah.
See? Bravo. Yay.
So, isn't it like, handwriting is so beautiful to like see someone's handwriting, because that's like their whole soul, and then it's like on paper, it's in physical form.
Yes.
So I highly suggest writing appreciation letters and literally like with a pen.
I agree.
Writing.
I agree. In my coaching program, that's the very first assignment every person does. They write a 1-page thing, 1 page only. And that's because of that very reason. So tell us about the tattoos on your fingers. What's that all about?
Okay, so this one is June 9th of 2018. You can see it. There you go. And that was the second day that I had blood clots. The one where I had my near-death experience, where I was in the hospital after the max dose of morphine in the worst pain I'd ever seen or been in. And my family was around me. They were all crying in tears, and we were all fearing my death. And then I had those memories play back to me, and I just remember thinking, I want more moments.
Okay, so this is there.
Mm-hmm.
You chose your finger. Why not your wrist? Why not your ankle? Why your finger?
I honestly, I can't tell you that. I know that like I always see this. It's like number one. I suppose we could add a whole bunch of meaning to it right now. But I always see it.
And just think, as you grow older, say when you're 98 years old, you know, at least you gotta like try to bend and look way down at your ankles. It's gonna be right there. There's got to be some that we don't do well. We shouldn't do anything just by whatever or happenstance. It all should be purposeful. Why? Because when we do things and we mean it, those things immediately have the opportunity to become meaningful for the world. So tell us about how your family handles you now, because this was not that long ago. And do they still worry? Do you still worry when you get a slight headache or you feel some indigestion or something in your chest area? Are you still haunted by the possibility? Do you ever think this will come back? What I'm getting at, Shana, is you have this overwhelmingly new definition of gratitude. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes, I know when it's happened in my own journey, it makes me fear less. That we should never be completely devoid of fear, because fight or flight and all of our instincts stand up and help us be the spiritual ninja warriors we are. But we don't need to unduly worry ourselves or be afraid of things. And I know for a fact that if I were to keel over 2 seconds or right here in the midst of this, I'm okay. I'm not afraid, because we die every day to those things, or should, that don't serve us, that do not serve us. So, we got about 10 minutes. I want you to kind of touch on that for me, if you could. What kind of things did this experience show you were not serving you? How did your life change? What did you put down in order to pick up some of the new things in your world today? Because you didn't have all of the stuff that we find at your website. You didn't have the book. Yeah. You didn't, all these things. So what do you feel you had to lay down in order to make room in your spirit to pick up all these wonderful things that you're changing people's lives through?
So what I have to say is, since that experience, I just started fighting for what I wanted in life. And I think before that experience, I didn't know what I wanted in life. And more specifically, I didn't care, because I was just honestly going through the motions. I was always trying to play the safe route or whatever. And now I feel like I'm more courageous, and I'm doing all of these things. And in a way, I do not fear death anymore, because I do believe that death is never finite, if that makes sense.
Yes, it's not the end.
Like never just
the
like
body.
always
not the soul.
after that.
Right.
So I don't fear it in that way. But last October, I actually did have a panic attack. This is just me being real with you. And keep in mind, like, this was 2.5 years, like, after the experience, but I had a panic attack in the bar, and I write about this in Mona Listen. And I had this panic attack because I was talking to my customers. Keep in mind, this was like during the time of COVID still. And they were talking about COVID. And I was like, I think I was coughing or something. And they're like, Shana, like, you have COVID probably. And I was like, no, I don't. Like, I just have a cold or something. And like, when they said that, I went back into my mind and I was just like, you know, like those moments where you just get in your head or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, like, if I have COVID, I have dead lung tissue. Right now because of my pulmonary embolism. I had 80 freaking blood clots in my lungs, right?
Right.
I have dead lung tissue, and I was just thinking to myself, like, I could have pneumonia and then like die. And it's very like deep or whatever. That's a deep and heavy thing to talk about, but it's just like, just because I had this experience doesn't mean I'm any less human, you know, is what I'm getting at.
And let me say this to you, young lady. Know this. Pain, just like joy, just like blessings, they don't come in pints, quarts, and gallons. So, you know, as far as the weight and the heaviness or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's all relative. It's all relative. The promise is that you're never going to go through something you cannot handle. And I think it's really interesting that, you know, where most people your age, most kids are living as if I'm gonna live forever, you know, and with no thought at all about it. And here you are getting this experience up close and personal on the front end of your journey. I can only imagine what that's going to mean in the writing of all the rest of the chapters that you will live well into your golden old age. You know, I think of the woman on what's her name on Titanic. Remember how she Rose, right? When you're sitting there talking about, you know what I'm saying? Do you ever think about that? Do you ever think far out to the older version of you now, how you'll look back on this time of your life so early, having, when most kids are just living fancy free, and not all, but most, there you are dealing with that. So how does that make you feel?
How does that make me feel? I don't know. Like, honestly, grateful, I think, is what I would say, because I see that, like, a lot of people my age are just going through the motions too, and that's not to hate on them, but I just feel like I have like this advantage because I finally, in my book, I described that in those moments I felt the breath in my lungs and I felt my heart beating for the first time. And it's just kind of like ironic that I say that, because in those moments I thought I was going to die. And it's really,
you were more alive in that moment of
literally, it's
dying than you'd ever been.
That you feel like you're going to die, that you know what being alive feels like. I think that was a bell ring, Lauren.
Yeah, okay. You sure picked that up quick. You know how it works now. Yes, it was. So, again, you guys, there, take a look, and it is also inside the comment section at the top of the thread. Shana, say your last name.
Schoone.
Shana Schoone. Big seashells by the seashore at 7 o'clock, September 7th. Lord, I'll be getting it together before you're here next time. Trust me. When people head over to your site, there's more than just the book there, correct? Tell us about some of the other things that you've been doing.
I also have a course, and this course is based off of how to have a difficult conversation. And that's based off of like my communication bachelor, or my bachelor's degree in communication.
Okay. And you write a blog, right?
Yep.
So that's over there. And what about, do you have any groups or anything, or do you belong to any groups for people?
Okay, so I do have a book club on Facebook, and I do have a communication group on Facebook as well.
Okay, if you could drop those in the comments after we conclude here in a couple minutes, that would be great for those who want to continue the dialogue with you. perhaps one-on-one or just by listening to your stories or reading your poems and whatnot. Give us one more short thing from the book as we get out of here today, if you could. Put you on the spot.
Okay, I know exactly what one I want to read to you. Let me find
There, I knew you would. Here we go.
So this is my favorite chapter, chapter 8, where I talk about love heals. And so I'll read the
Why
first.
is that your favorite?
Because it talks about connections, and that's like the main thing that my brand stands for. Is just being grateful for our connections, because I feel like oftentimes we just get caught up in the stress of the everyday life, and we forget those around us. And really, when we are present with those around us, it's healing, and it reminds us that we're human and just what being human is.
Got it.
Okay. So, Love Heals, chapter 8. We can all close our eyes and travel back to a time where someone helped us with our pain. They helped us by listening and offering a hand, hug, or words that provided us with a feeling of comfort and safety. We are born alone and die alone. It is only through those moments where we are shown love that we see one another as human too and feel as if we are not alone. This shows that people need people. Some will travel days, months, or even years back to a time to remember this. However, everyone has certainly fallen upon someone who has gave them a sense of love. Perhaps love is the best healer, because it is the only thing that mends our hearts which have experienced the most trauma. May we be grateful for every past, present, and future exposure to this feeling, embracing it with open arms, allowing it to consume our being every chance we get. Because in the end, every ounce of love is worth any amount of pain that it could create.
You didn't even have to tell me that one. I am so excited for you. What a great example of youth on the move. Let's put it that way. I love that you are transparent. I love that you are willing to heal people through your own pain, your own struggles. And today you came out and exposed some things that I believe you've never said before on a show. And I appreciate that. I see it and I see you. So if there's ever anything we can do from our end to help what you're doing, find that E and that R that I so often speak of, you merely just need to ask us, and you're welcome back here anytime. Looking forward to all the great things you're going to continue doing in the world.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. And you guys, listen, same goes for you. I want you to know, in all seriousness, how important it is that we share our stories with each other. Get out there today and make your difference in the world, one story at a time. Remember, all you have to do is be totally committed to every person in every situation you find in front of you at any given moment. Make it and leave it better than the way you found it. Mean it so it can then become meaningful somewhere to someone in the world. I'll see you tomorrow morning, God willing, again, 8 a.m. Central, right out front on the front porch for our next installment of Bathrobe Moments. Be great and be even greater to each other.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind.